everyone.
We welcome you to the 24 webcast.
Coming up on the next 24 News.
Hello everyone, I'm Marcus Harun.
And I'm Colleen Joyce.
We do have right now, coming up ahead, we spoke to many different police departments.
We spoke to a Sergeant Marcus Jabowski from Naugatuck, Sergeant Rogers from Cheshire, and Prospect State Trooper Officer Norm George.
We do have information on the breaking story that we brought you earlier, live at 5, about the thunderstorms and lightning, hail, quarter-size hail, and a lot of other weather that moved across the state. We'll have what they said, those police departments said, and about the thunderstorms that rolled across Connecticut this afternoon. Those stories and more are coming up next on 24 News. 24 News webcast starts right now.
Now, with all your news in one place, from WMMH TV headquarters in Hamden, Connecticut, this is the 24 News webcast.
Hello everyone, I'm Marcus Harun.
And I'm Colleen Joyce.
We welcome you to the 24 webcast. Today is June 6th, 2007, and we welcome you to the webcast. A band of thunderstorms rolled across Connecticut this afternoon, sending golf ball-sized hail into the streets and yards, and knocking out power to thousands. For a few minutes, there was even a threat of a tornado.
Police in Fairfield say that a family out on a stroll Sunday found a tennis ball in a construction area near Grasmere Elderly Complex, but the ball was not for fun or games. Mike Harwood's niece and two nephews discovered the solitary tennis ball and wanted to play with it. Quote, they came up with the little tennis ball and shook it. You can hear a little rattling inside like beans, said Mike. Quote, we are trying to figure out what it was for, a dog maybe.
That is your top story right now, but getting back to what we started off the webcast with, there were a lot of storms that moved across the state. Hamden, where our headquarters are, we did not get anything in our area, but there were many right next to us. Cheshire, we did contact them, and Colin, can you start out with a report?
Yes, I can. In Cheshire, we talked to a Sergeant Rogers, who was on duty tonight. The weather, they said it mainly became worse in northern Cheshire towards the Waterbury line. The weather was mainly rain, a lot of wind, followed with that rain. But we were told there was no thunder or lightning with that rain and wind, but it was mainly just the majority of rain and wind. And they also had hail, which was about a quarter size. A lot of places did have hail today, but Cheshire had quarter size hail. At this time, there were no power outages in Cheshire, so the winds and rain and hail did not cause the power to go out anywhere in Cheshire, and it is still, at this time, everyone has power in Cheshire. Like I said, the hail was in the upper end where the storm actually hit. And also injuries, there were none at this time that were in Cheshire. But we will have an update for you later on or tomorrow as soon as we find out more about this storm, as it still continues to move out of Connecticut and move out to sea. We'll have more of an update for you about the Cheshire storm that moved through. Also, we talked to an officer, Norm George, from Prospect State Troopers. He said the storm was pretty bad up there. There were lots of hail. They were also about a quarter size hail. There were a lot of power outages, and still at this time there are still more outages that still need to be repaired. And the weather did close some roads, but not many at all. They were not prepared because it came so quickly and it was unexpected. But they did have Public Works and CLMP out there during the storm to try to recover the trees that fell, the brush that fell, tried to fix the lighting and power for all Prospect residents that were there at the time. Also, there were no injuries, along with Cheshire, and Naugatuck also had no injuries, but at this time there are still no injuries to be talked about in Prospect at this time.
We do have some video of our conversation that was exclusive to 24 News. We did speak with these 3 police departments. The last one, Naugatuck, I'll have the report in just a second. But right now, here's some video of our conversation.
What are the damages that in
As you did hear from our conversation, there were no roads closed there, but across the state, that was a different story. Another place that WTNH reported as having a lot of outages, we called them and we found a different story there. We talked to Naugatuck, where they found no damages. There was hail, though, which was quarter-sized hail. He told us that that quarter-sized hail that did come down, we didn't really have any more information, but that did come down, and there were no power outages either, and they were not prepared for the storm. It came all of a sudden, and there were no injuries reported from the Naugatuck Police Department Sergeant Marcus Jabowski that we talked to earlier just a few minutes ago before this webcast. We will be bringing you more information on that story. If a tornado did touch down, the National Weather Service is saying that it didn't, but if they do find any more information, we'll let you know. A pedestrian was injured Tuesday morning when he was hit by a bus. Police say that the man stepped off a curb at the corner of Church and Chapel Street and was clipped by a city bus. His arm somehow got caught in the bus, resulting Sorry, someone was dancing in the background. I'm really sorry. Resulting in what police called a traumatic injury, though it was not believed to be life-threatening. The victim is being treated at Yale New Haven Hospital. His identity was not available.
A military panel recommended that an Iraq war veteran who wore his uniform during an anti-war demonstration lost his honorable discharge status, brushing away his claims that he was exercising his right to freedom of speech. Marine Adam Kolkish, a member of the member of Iraq Veterans Against the War, argued that he did nothing wrong, but participating in the march protest in Washington, D.C. because he removed his name tag uniform, making it clear he was not representing the military.
In other news now, the race for the White House is quickly becoming a race to bridge the God gap, at least for the Democrats. Traditionally, matters of faith have been largely Republican territory, but Monday night, the top 3 Democratic contenders divided and with some eye-opening revelations. There was a debate with the top presidential candidates on CNN, which is happening right now, and we'll bring you information on that tomorrow.
By the twin measures of rating success and journalism that gets results, NBC News producer Marsha Bartle should have been riding high. since joining, quote, to catch a predator in early 2006, the 49-year-old veteran journalist had helped set up 4 different sting operations that led to the arrest of 112 men who allegedly used internet chat rooms to try to have sex with minors.
In other news, in Kuruk, a city in northern Iraq that wavers between war and unsteady peace, a woman named Kajia runs a beauty shop in the poorest section of town. She needs $1,200 to keep her business going, a business that supports her parents and disabled brother. The Los Gatos, California, a real estate broker named Debbie Bright is giving her a loan.
Former Waterbury Mayor Phil Giordano pleads no contest to state charges of sexual assaulting 2 young girls. As part of the plea agreement with prosecutors, Giordano will be sentenced to 18 years to be served concurrently with his federal sentence of 37 years. Prosecutors worked for years to cement the deal in the effort to keep Giordano's young victims from having to testify a second time. The no contest pleas mean Giordano does not admit guilt, but agrees not to contest the state's prosecution.
In other news, former Waterbury Mayor Phil... In other news now, we do have some information on the weather forecast. We did have your forecast earlier, but now we do have your weather update. Colleen is here, and we do have the weather map right now. The temperature outlook for this week, starting yesterday. Colleen, you can start today.
Thanks, Marcus. Today you can see that it was about 80 degrees, and the lows were about 78. But as you can see, the week goes on, it will start to get warmer, except for tomorrow. The highs will be about 72, so it will be a lot cooler tomorrow than it was today. Not much, but more than you would expect than it would be. But the lows would be about 68 Thursday, 78 to 74. Friday would be about 83 degrees. Might get a little bit around 85. And the lows would be about 78. And Saturday would be about 84 degrees for your highs, and your lows about 78. But for the rest of the week, I think that it will be getting a little warmer, even though I said tomorrow will be getting a little cooler, and Thursday will be a little bit cooler as well. Here's your extended outlook for the remainder of the week. You can see yesterday it was mainly cloudy. Today we had a few severe storms that moved across Connecticut. You can see it was mainly cloudy today, and as well as Wednesday and Thursday will be too. The sun will start to peek out on Friday, but you can see today it's about 80 degrees. Wednesday for tomorrow would be about 72, Thursday about 78, and Friday will be about 83. But those severe storms did make an appearance today around Connecticut. They did leave a lot of hail, a lot of wind, a lot of power outages. We will have an update for you, as Marcus and I had said before, about injuries in Naugatuck, Cheshire, and Prospect, and we'll also have more of an update for you coming up in the next few minutes or so of your more update of your weather. Marcus?
Thanks, Colleen. Now into police are looking for 58-year-old Jarrett Hook, who was last seen in the area of Ferry Street several weeks ago. Hook is a black female, approximately 5'5" tall, and weighs 135 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information about the whereabouts of Miss Hook, please call the New Haven Police Department at 946-6316. That is all your news, weather, and sports for tonight. We will have an update tomorrow, and we will play some more calls that we had with those police departments. Thank you for watching 24 News.
I'm Colleen Joyce.
And I'm Marcus Harun. Have a great day, everyone.
"24 News" is copyright 2007, MMH Productions. This is Bill Elder speaking for 24 News with Marcus Harun. all your news in one place.